Hi guys, today's video is going to be another topic explaining potentially things that you aren't doing the right way or that you're holding on to that are holding you back. So it's about why you don't have your manifestation yet. You might be questioning, why hasn't it come yet? Why isn't it here yet? What's going on? What am I doing wrong? It's not that you should be putting the blame on yourself and saying, I'm making all these mistakes. That's not a good assumption to create. That's not a good place to put your focus on. But it may be a case that you are kind of focusing on the wrong things and kind of not relaxing in the way that you should be about knowing that your manifestation is already yours. So that's what I'm going to talk about today, and please do thumbs up and subscribe if you like this topic, if you want me to continue with the manifestation content, if you are learning anything from my advice. It would mean a lot to me. We're almost at 1,500 subscribers, which is amazing. I think I might have already hit it by now, or I'll hit it potentially after this video, which is amazing because it's the next little milestone. And the next goal for me is 2,000, which would be amazing. And I don't think will take that long. But yeah, please join this community and channel to learn and leave a comment below. I love talking to you guys. I love hearing your stories, helping you answer questions and clarify things for you. Although I have had feedback that my channel is very clear and concise, so that's really good to hear because I wanted to make sure that everything I'm explaining makes sense, because I don't like the whole law of attraction wishy-washy explanations where they're just like, you need to connect with the vibe, you need to connect with the vibration. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. So yeah, luckily I'm explaining things well for you guys. And do take a look below for my Instagram, which is LOA Coaching. That is my coaching Instagram. And it has all information about my one-on-one coaching offers. If that is something you would like, if you're interested in that, take a look. And if you think you'd benefit from coaching especially, please get in touch with me. So let's just get started. First point I wanted to mention is how I have kind of interacted with people, had comments, seen other people talking about this, how they say like, oh, I believed in, my affirmations. I believed in something positive about my relationship, about my SP, but then, he mistreated me. He did this, he said that. Why has he done that? Why has it happened when I affirmed every day? I persisted. I never thought, I believed that I would get what I wanted. Well, actually, it can be really much more subtle and deep-rooted than you just persisting every day. And if you have a good mental diet and your thoughts are more or less on track with what you want, and you affirm every day and you have a consistent, positive manifesting routine as part of your daily life, then you will and are definitely guaranteed to get your manifestation. But it's definitely down to your thoughts wavering, you thinking from the opposite, thinking opposing thoughts. And I'll explain in more detail what it could potentially be caused by, because I've experienced this myself. So I've caused myself delays as well in the past. And I feel like I'm myself just getting fully back on track as well. And it's so easy to fall into this habit of not persisting or putting in the right amount of effort, kind of getting lazy, complacent, accepting your reality as it is, when we don't need to do that. We can completely focus from the end result. So these people who are saying, or if it's you as well, if this is something that you connect with and then you think, oh gosh, I've done that too. If you think, oh, I believe in it, like I know it's happening, I had this feeling that he was coming back to me, my SP was going to commit to me, I felt positive about it, I was affirming, it's been months, and why hasn't he come back? I've been doing everything right. But it can be really, really subtle. It's something internally. There is no, God putting out his hand and being like, no, he's not going to text her. The universe isn't interfering. No one else in your reality is interfering because they don't have free will. It's all down to you and your thoughts. It's something in your routine, in your manifesting routine, or the type of thoughts you're having. You are having wavering thoughts, opposing thoughts. And you might not think it, but honestly, that could be the only genuine thing that is stopping you from getting what you want. There's no other force or person who could impact it the way you impact it, or the way you allow it to be impacted. So it's a case of your thoughts or words kind of showcasing the opposite of what you want. So if your thoughts are, you read a success story or you see a picture of a couple and you're like, oh, why, when is my SP going to come back? Like, when are they going to message me? that is an opposing thought. If you're wavering and thinking, I've been affirming for 3 months, like what's going on? That is an opposing, wavering thought. If you're telling your friends, oh no, I'm not in contact with him, you know, it'll be okay, like I know he'll come back to me, but no, we're not in contact. That is an opposing thought, because that's not what you want with your SP. If you're telling your friends, you know, I haven't applied for the new jobs yet, and you keep complaining about how much you hate your job, you don't have your dream job, because you're telling people that you don't. Your words and thoughts are very powerful. Even if you only tell 3 friends the story of how you don't have a specific desire, whether it's, you know, oh, I'm working on getting a job, oh, I'm working on things with SP. You're not telling the end story as you want it, and you don't have to lie to your friends, you don't have to create a story, you don't have to say, yes, they proposed, yes, you know, I have my 6-figure salary career already. You don't have to say those things. If you want to, it's up to you. I mean, you can say whatever you want, but it's probably better not to lie to the people in your life. I wouldn't recommend that. I would recommend maybe just being more subtle or neutral, which is something I've told a few of my clients. If they are going to discuss it, and you know, starting out on a mental diet, it's also important to have your conversations align with that. So for example, if a friend asks, you know, how are things with your SP, or you mention it, or you text them something, or you know, whatever the case may be, someone in your life can and probably will at some point ask about your manifestation. And I mean in the context of a normal conversation, not like, hey, have you manifested them? How's the positive movement going? Because normal people in our life, our parents and friends, are not going to ask us that. They're going to be like, oh, how's it going with John? How's it going with Ethan? How's it going with your career change? Have you got that new job? Have you applied for your new job? Have you heard back from the new company? Don't say like, oh no, you know, I'm working on it. That is positive. I know why it can seem like that's the right thing to say, but that's still speaking from your current reality. That's not speaking from the end. So an easy, honest way to deal with that is to be very neutral. Be like, you know what, I have a really good feeling about it. It's all working out for me. I just know that the company's going to reach out to me today. Because instead of saying like, yeah, they reached out, they gave me the job, you're not lying. You're just saying like, you're giving them the indication that you're just hopeful, but to you in your mind, in your subconscious mind, it's you explaining to yourself, it's all working out. Any minute now, the company's going to reach out to me. It is mine. That's much more aligned with your end result. And I highly recommend that, because I have in the past complained about SPs to my friends. Not complained, but like spoken negative about, no, I haven't gained any new YouTube subscribers today. No, you know, I only got 40 likes on my new photo, or something like that to do with my social media progress. And that is opposing. Even though it's the reality and it's not you saying, I'm never going to get my manifestation, it's still a negative opposing thought to your desired reality. So that's why you don't have it, because you can spend 5 hours a day affirming, but if you then spend the evening with your friends bitching and moaning about your boyfriend or your SP, whoever they may be, and saying, you know, oh, they're so annoying, like I'm getting really frustrated, I think I want to start with someone new and just forget them. If that's the kind of thing you're saying with your friends, you're kind of unraveling and undoing the work you just put in that day, because you're not fixing those thoughts. If you say those things, or do those things, or think those things throughout the day, it's totally fine, because we're human. We can have moments of doubt. We don't have to have robotically perfect thoughts all day long. It's just a matter of flipping it. So if you do accidentally, or you just want to be like, you know what, I'm just going to tell my mum, like, you know, my mum asked how my day was, I'll just tell her, you know, I'm feeling a bit down because you know, SP and I, my ex-boyfriend and I had a negative chat. If you want to be honest with people, you can, but then you need to immediately go into your mind, or as soon as the phone call ends, as soon as the meeting ends, as soon as your dinner finishes, whatever it is you're doing, you then need to immediately revise it and do your mental diet and be like, I've only ever told my friends positive things. I only ever talked to my mum about how amazing my ex-boyfriend is. He's already mine. You know, anything that opposes that is not true. Like, you need to immediately revise it if you can't do it in the moment. So as soon as you say something negative or think something negative, you need to immediately go back and be like, nope, that's not true, this is the case. So if you're in the middle of a conversation with a friend, for example, I know it's hard in the moment when you're at a social event, you're in the middle of something else, it's hard to just then be like, oh, give me a minute, I need to do my mental diet. You can't do that. So as soon as your event finishes and you have time to yourself, you need to then immediately revise whatever it was that you said that doesn't match up your desired reality. So hopefully that explanation makes sense, because that's a very easy, subtle way for you to hold yourself back from getting what you want. So say something neutral or positive if you can about your desire, even if it's complete opposite in your reality. Try and be as neutral and vague and positive as you can, or just say nothing. Be like, actually, can we not talk about it? And then in your mind be like, I know it's perfect, I know it's mine, I'm so glad it's mine. Because if you say you don't want to talk about it, it could lead to thoughts in your brain coming up about, oh my gosh, I wish I could talk to my friends about it, I wish I had a positive thing to tell them. Because those thoughts can naturally come up, so you want to immediately prevent them by saying, it's perfect, it's mine. You know, essentially doing a mental diet before you've even thought anything negative. And that's the best way to keep yourself on track and ensure that you do not delay your manifestation any further. So that is why the mental diet is so essential, because your thoughts and words can be so subtly opposing. It doesn't have to be literally, I don't have, John isn't my boyfriend. I'm not working at, BMW. I don't have my six-figure salary. It doesn't literally need to be the phrase of what it is you want that opposes it. It can be as subtle as, oh, I wish I was going on a date with a boyfriend tonight, or like, oh, all these lucky girls going on dates with their boyfriends. That is essentially opposing. You need to be saying, oh, I love when SP takes me on dates like this. This girl on Instagram has such a cute date night. I'm so grateful that my SP, whatever their name is, does the exact same thing for me every day. Like, those are the kind of thoughts you need to be introducing, because it can be so easy for opposing thoughts to just subtly come up. Another point that I want to quickly touch on, I have spoken about it in my last video, which is that time is an illusion. Time doesn't matter when it comes to manifesting. So watch that video if you're interested, if you want to learn more about that. But essentially, if you keep checking the time of how long it's been, if you're keeping track, if you keep trying to check your phone, your laptop, your emails, whatever it is, usually it's online formats, because I think in real life you can't really keep track of things like that, like conversations. It's more like online. You'll check text messages, you'll check your WhatsApp, you'll check your Instagram followers list, like all these things. Do not check those things. Don't keep checking for signs, for proof, for evidence, because that's coming from a state of lack. That's telling your mind and yourself, I don't have it, I'm feeling anxious, I'm getting impatient because I'm checking, has it arrived yet? Meaning it hasn't arrived, meaning it's not yours. So please do not keep checking for signs. Don't check the time. Don't be like, right, it's been 3 months and he hasn't texted me yet. Our last message, he left me on red. Why has he not texted me back yet? It's been 3 months. It's been 3 months and 1 day. Like, why is my manifestation not here? Those things are holding you back. It's very clear now that I'm talking about it, hopefully. If you guys have done that, you can see why it would be a hindrance. Because you can be like, he's mine. I know that, I know he's coming back to me. I know my affirmations work. Like, I trust in manifesting. I'm so good at this. Like, I'm affirming. I flip all my negative thoughts. But then you go and check your phone and you don't see his name or her name or whoever pop up on your phone screen with a notification, and that's what you're trying to manifest. Contact. That's you checking the 3D, keeping track of time, keep checking if the results are in. It's almost like forcing the 3D, like trying to hurry the 3D up. You need to be living in the end feeling like it's mine. Flip into a mental diet when your thoughts tell you and your ego tells you like, no, it's not, you haven't had that text yet. Be like, no, he texted me, it's all good. I know it's perfectly coming together. It's all unfolding exactly as I want. He's texting me right now. I know it's going to come through any second. Just keep doing that until you can distract yourself and you stop having those negative opposing thoughts, because checking or keeping track of things, that's not what people do when they have what they want. If you had your dream car, or you were in a relationship with your SP, you wouldn't be like, right, it's been 2 months and 2 days since we've been dating. It's been 2 months and 3 days since we've been dating. He last texted me 15 minutes ago. My boyfriend who just told me last night that he's in love with me, he hasn't texted me for 6 hours whilst he's at work. You don't do that when you're in a happy, committed relationship. You know, you don't be like, oh my God, I've had this car for a month. You know, I haven't driven the car for 5 minutes since I've been home. I haven't driven the car for 30 minutes since I've been sat at home. Oh my God, let me check my garage. Is the car there? Is the car still there? You just don't do those things normally. When you have something, it's just a fact. It's like, yeah, it's mine. This is the way it is. I don't need to check on it. I don't need to do those things. You just know, like factually, completely, it's yours. So that's kind of how you have to treat your manifestations. You cannot keep checking for it because that's implying that you don't have it. And it is creating subtle thoughts and assumptions in your mind that you don't have it. So it can be so subtle and easy for you to fall into that pattern. So it's really important to keep track of your mental diet and think to yourself, have you done any of these things? Another quick point I want to touch on is the idea of thinking that you're working towards it. I've fallen into this positive trap where I, tell my manifesting buddy or a friend or family member, I know eventually I'm going to have it. I know that, I can manifest my dream career. I know that I can do this. I know that if I started affirming, it would happen, or I know that eventually they'll conform. I know that eventually they'll come back. That's still you saying, they're not here right now. That thing I want, it's not mine right now. It's still in the distance for me to work towards it. So you have to be careful about the wording. This is why when you're talking to other people in conversations, use positive, neutral, or vague terms if you do not have your desire yet. Because any conversation could potentially lead to you creating an assumption or a spiral or wavering and slightly delaying your manifestation. With every conversation, you could be slightly delaying your manifestation by that much longer. So it's better just not to risk it. It's better just to live from the end as much as you can, mentally and verbally, in whatever realistic way you're able to apply it. Finally, I just want to wrap this up by saying it's important to commit to the process of manifesting. Every day, affirming, mental diet, persist day in, day out, visualizing, whatever it may be, just positive thinking, positive words that imply you have what you want. That is the key to preventing a delay. That's the key to you getting what you want ASAP, immediately, tomorrow morning, tomorrow evening, because there is no time limit. You can literally get signs, get movement, get proof of what you want being yours immediately, in a minute. It's just about you applying that mindset for a long enough period of time. Whatever negative or wavering thoughts you have zero impact. So it could be a week of you being really, really strict and disciplined with your affirming for hours a day and flipping every single potentially opposing thought, getting very strict on your mental diet. And then after that first week, you'll start to notice you just don't have those thoughts or words coming into your mind. You don't even want to think or say anything negative. You just want to be happy in knowing that you have what you want. So you need to be able to get to that point of being really committed and persisting until you get what you want. So try your best to apply these points. Try and think to yourself, have you done any of these things? Hopefully it all made sense and helped you guys, maybe gave you some insight into some really, really subtle, quick, simple ways that you might be delaying your manifestation. So please do thumbs up and subscribe if this was helpful. I'll have more manifesting content coming very, very soon. So stay tuned for that and I'll see you next time. Bye.